Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Strider Chip. I am back with another one here to bring some brand new content in a brand new way. Here, look at a deck profile I did a while ago. Here is my Burning Aura Gohan deck profile. It's a little bit of my take here on a Gohan deck. Pretty much as is, guys. Go ahead and tweak the deck as is. Do whatever you want to do with it. This is what I decided to use thus far here on it. Looks pretty cool to me. I like it. I like this leader because it's Gohan. I'm not gonna lie with you. Gohan used to be, well, he still is. Gohan used to be one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Z. When I saw his adult version, I love the adult version of Gohan. And as we can see with this picture, this is the adolescence versions of Gohan. Pretty much him as like 18, 19. This one comes from the Broly movie here where you had Gohan fighting against Broly. His father wasn't there. Goten was there. I think Krillin was there. Really cool movie. If you guys haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. So this is the leader, Son Gohan, Son Goten, brotherly bond. As with this leader, just go ahead. Let's talk about the leaders. Go into the deck. So you have an active main once per turn. Burst 2. You take one card of you choose one card. You choose one card in your life and add it to your hand, and then your opponent, if your opponent has 5 or more life, they deal damage to them. So basically you get to do that at least 4 times to your opponent. 4 times here, taking a life from them. They take a life, you take a life, you draw cards, kind of making things even out. It's not necessarily that bad. Pretty cool. It's awakening skill. You draw 2 cards. Some people may say that's kind of bad, while other people say it may be good. I'm on the side that is useful. You can take advantage of it, drawing 2. I'm of the opinion that drawing cards is not a bad thing. Actually, it's a pretty good thing. The more cards you have in your hand, the more likely you can use cards actually to your advantage here. Then we have the Son Gohan, Son Goten, brotherly bond. When it's awakened, you have the auto sparking 5. When its card attacks, you're drawing 1. So with this deck, you're never going to use Overrealm with this deck. Using Overrealm and sparking, it just doesn't work out very well. So you're never going to use that with this deck. It says auto once per turn. When one of your battle cards activates Alliance, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 30k power or less, and you get to KO it. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. When one of your battle cards activates Alliance, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 30k power or less and KO it. In this deck, you're going to have at least 2 cards with Alliance that I decided to put in this deck. This card also, I put Gogeta Acrobatic Warrior in this deck here to work well with it. I'm not sure how much it costs now. I think it may be cheap. I think it may be cheap, but we'll look at that in a second. And it has an active main. When it's awakened, active main once per turn, sparking 5. You choose 3 cards in your hand. You're going to place them in the drop area. You're going to choose all red or green battle cards, and then both chosen. Excuse me. You choose all 3 cards in your hand, place in the drop area. You choose all red or green battle cards. Then both the chosen in this card gets a 10k power for the duration of a turn, which is cool. Putting Gohan at 25 and putting the other cards plus 10 or whatever it is on the field, helping you go for game. As you can see, this deck doesn't necessarily need Saiyans. This ultimate here, you don't necessarily need that as well. It's fine to go ahead and get it. I mean, if you guys pull that, you'll be happy. You'll be good if you pulled it. Pretty cool if you did. If you didn't, you didn't. But anyway, so this is the deck profile. Just diving right deep in it. We're just gonna dive into it. So we have intensified power Trunks here in this deck. You already know what it is. Take 1 life while you're attacking. Pretty much this card gains critical 10k boost, making you a 15k critical. Okay, using that to self-awaken. Actually, you're just using that actually to evolve, really, technically. To be honest with you, you're just using it really to evolve with the chain attack Trunks. That's all you're trying to really do. So you're playing chain attack Trunks by at least turn 3 at that, or within that 2 turns, to evolve in 2 turns, whatever. Fearless Pen, as you guys can see, that card is still, I think this card's still $10. I think. Intensified power Trunks is pretty cheap. Blocker barrier is giving once you play it, it's giving everybody, including your leader, choose all red cards, including your leader, to get a 5k boost and double strike here to them. At least 2 in this deck would be good. I decided to put 3. 3 is not bad. 15k, it's also pretty good. It's a pretty good card. Must need it. It's definitely a target for chain attack Trunks. As you can see, mainly there are only two targets in this deck for chain attack Trunks, as you guys can see. The main go-to that you're going to be using here for chain attack Trunks, you're going to be using chain attack Trunks, and you're going to use Acrobatic Warrior here. Acrobatic Warrior is a target for it. As you can see, it's definitely a target. And Fearless Pain is definitely a target as well. These are really, really good targets. This deck also, you could use, what's his name? Forgot what it is. Burst Attack. Yeah, Burst Attack Son Gohan. You can put him in this deck too as well if you wanted to. That would help out. It would definitely help this deck out if you wanted that as a target. But I decided to keep the targets actually little in this deck here. It's not that big. I mean, usually what you're going to be doing here in this deck anyway, don't get wrong, you're also attacking his life, but you're attacking battle cards that are on the field as well. So we have Young Chud 100%. Young Chud 100%. Pretty much it works here with this leader. It would work hella well with this leader. Has his active main. It says Burst 5. If your leader is a red Earthling for the duration of the turn, this card gets a 6k power, and it can't 6k. This card gets a 6k power. It can't have its attack negated, and it deals 2 damage to your opponent's life. And excuse me. We read it over. So basically, it allows you to attack a battle card in active mode, right? You can attack a battle card in active mode. You get a 16k power boost, making it 25k, and this attack can't be negated. They can't negate it. So with this card, is Young Chad at 100%. You want to use this to actually to go for game. Also, you want to use it to attack battle cards that are on the field that your opponent has that are in active mode. Things you want to get off the field, or just any card that's on the field, you need to just get rid of it. If you see a card that's on the field that's in rest mode, you want to go ahead and use that. Also, you could use Virtuous Strength Gohan in this deck too, if you will, because this is a burn deck. Once again, it's burn all the way. But Young Chad 100% I think works better than Virtuous Strength Gohan. In my opinion, it works a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? You're getting a 25, you're at 25k, they're taking 2 life at that. You know what I'm saying? Really, really good stuff. However, I have to fairly warn you guys, if you're playing like a burn deck against people who don't play a lot of battle cards in the field, then you can't play this deck that way. You can't play cards that's gonna burn your opponent. You can't. You just overall just can't do that. You have to attack your opponent's life directly, basically at that point. So that's what Fearless Pain comes in for. So we have Brawly Counter Reversal also in this deck. Brawly Counter Reversal, 4-drop. I put 2, 3 works fine. And actually, I picked this card up actually not too long ago. I got at least one of these cards. This card went down in price as well. I think it's at $3, maybe $4 or so. I did see it at 5. You may be able to get it at a little bit higher too as well. But pretty much during your turn, when this card says during your turn, it gets a 5k boost, making it 25k, and it can tap battle cards in active mode. Then automatic, once per turn, that means your turn in his turn, your opponent can't activate counter skills. Well, if your opponent activates the counter skill, they have to deal 1 life. That's control right there. So whenever they activate any of these, they activate Mafuba on you, they gotta take a life. If they activate Dimension Magic, they gotta take a life. Here, they gotta take a life no matter what with this card. It's a really, really good card. It's a good card to go for game. Actually, I should do I was telling myself I was gonna do a series called How to Play That Card in Dragon Ball Super Card Game. I'm probably gonna end up doing it anyway. But let me go and let's get back into the video. Chain Attack Trucks, you already know what it is. You already know what the targets are in this deck. Then we have Son Gohan, Son Goten, Familiar Bond. This card is not getting played, I noticed. It's not really getting played. This card is actually pretty cheap at that. I actually have one of these cards. I have the SPR version of that card, which looks pretty cool. I'm just going to get the remaining ones. That's SR. I'm going to get the remaining ones. This card is just not getting played. I think this card is a really, really good card. It's a 4-drop at 1 for 1. 2, secondly, it has basically a conditional triple strike. It has Alliance Red and Green. This card gains the power equal to the total power switch to rest mode by this skill. Triple strike for the duration of the battle. When you play this card, activate this skill for the duration of turn. When your opponent uses a skill to play a battle card, your opponent chooses 2 cards from their life and place it in the drop area. Okay, when you play this card, activate. So the moment you play that card, you activate the skill. For the duration of the turn, when your opponent uses a skill to play a battle card, the opponent takes 2 life and places in the drop area. So you guys know what that means, right? So what that means is this. There's a card, right? Let me go ahead and show it to you. It's that Toa card. It's a 2-drop. It has blocker/revenge on it. That card, this card right here is made for that. Okay. It, you know, is made for cards like that. That says it's even made for Sugesh. Technically, let's say your opponent combos with Sugesh, even though this card is banned. Let's say it wasn't banned. If your opponent combos with Sugesh and bring out a 3-drop on the field, then your opponent has to take 2 life. Okay, but it's made for cards that's being brought out on the field. Go ahead and check it out. I just want to show you guys what I was talking about. And it's a battle card. And it's a Toa. Here it is, right here. See, blocker slash. It has blocker/revenge on this card. It's just two cards from the drop area and send it to the warp and play it. And they've already, if you guys don't know, I have an email, or at least I got a text message here on my. It's an email picture here that says you don't have to play the energy cost of this card. You don't have to do that. Keep that in mind. If you're playing the counterplay skill on it, you're just playing the 2 cards from your drop area and send it to the warp. I got the email here on my phone. You guys want to? Well, I'll try to see if I can post it a link or so in the bottom of the video. If I can, I just can't do it. But I just wanted to show that off here to you. So now we're gonna go ahead and let's go to Gogeta Acrobatic Warrior. This card, pretty much you're gonna play this with pretty much with that Gohan. That's what you're gonna do it with. Don't get me wrong, you don't have to necessarily play it with the Gohan. Here's why. I mean, he has this deck will work better. Actually, Brawly was in the deck technically when I think about it. It says when a battle card that is both red and green with an energy cost of 5 is played in your battle area, activate this skill. You may play this card from your hand. Basically, you get to play it for free. Now, when this card is switched to rest mode by Alliance, you're going to deal 1 life. Now, this card, I think this Gogeta card would be better if it says 5 or less. It just says 5, so it's meaning to work well with that Brawly, the 5-drop Brawly that came out from the new set, the multicolor set. It's meaning to work well there. You know what I'm saying? That's where it needs to work at. And these are just 2 drops at that. It's gonna take some time. I think some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, but I just want to give out visual representations just so you guys can follow me. And this is the 5-drop Brawly that we are talking about right here. So once this card is evolved and played on the field, basically you get to play the Gogeta Acrobatic Warrior here at no cost, which would definitely, like I said, it works out a lot better. Then we have newfound power Gohan. Pretty much this can help you self-awaken. Technically, I mean, to be honest with you, these cards are not necessarily necessary from when I'm thinking about it. I might switch this out from the deck because I don't think I really technically need it. I think I need a card that says when you play this card, draw 1. I think maybe that would be better just to increase my draw power to the deck, to be honest with you. But I put this here anyway in case I did, let's say, yeah, I mean, the leader self-awakens itself. He just do that himself. But I decided to put this Gohan here just for the space, just to increase the space. And just charges his energy and use it whenever I technically need to use it. Then we have Trunks, the Bridge of Future. You're using this just to look for a Saiyan card. You know what I mean? Just look at the top two cards in your deck, looking for a Saiyan, and that's pretty much technically it. Then we have Time Chronoia. You use this whenever you're going for game. Just use it for whenever you're going for game so your opponent can't super combo. I think that'll be a really, really good card. And then also we have our support attack Goten here at that. Definitely very, very helpful with that. You're going to combo with that card. This is a super combo card. You already know what it is. Then we have our ultimate card here of the deck here is the ultimate. Basically, as long as you get the 5 turns, you're going to be able to play that card, which is a really good card. Pretty much burn it. That, like I said, when you play this card, you're going to take a card from your life. Your opponent's going to take 2 right off the bat. Boom, that's it. When your opponent combos with a battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less, choose up to one of your opponent's combo area and place it in the opponent's drop area. So that's actually pretty cool too. Another effect. So whenever your opponent's going to combo with a battle card with energy cost of 2 or less, so as I said it before, I've already stated this. There is a not a super combo, but a card that does double strike. Just imagine if they do that. It takes 2 hidden power each Supreme Kai. That's 2 energies here for that. It was 1 energy to play the card, but it's a 2 energy cost card at that. So, man, I just think that's a little hella funny to see. You guys already know. If you know the game, you know what I'm talking about. Hidden power each Supreme Kai. It's 2 drop. I think that's just funny. They can't play it. Then we have Strategy Universe 7. You're using this for a barrier. That's it. Then we have Actor Image Technique. I think this is a pretty good negate. It's a really good negate. You're going to be popping things on the field. You get the Self-Awaken here to also here with it. Take a life instead. It has a sparking effect to it. Then we have Familiar Bond. You guys already know what it is. You're going to use this to look for, actually, you're going to use it to look for Acrobatic Warrior, and you're going to use it to look for Fearless Pan. So it's a searcher for those 2. Actually, you can't use it for Acrobatic Warrior. I'm sorry. You can only use it for Fearless Pan. So you're going to be using that for Fearless Pan, because that's 30. Excuse me, not 30, but it's a 3 drop and it's a 15k. Or Familiar Bond. Yep. So if your leader is red, you're going to choose up the 1 red same card in your drop area. Energy cost of 3 or less, 15k or less, and 15k or less, and you're gonna play it, and then you get to choose 2 Dragon Balls from your deck, and then you get to shuffle it. So those 2 Dragon Balls you're gonna be looking for. You're gonna look for the 3rd star Dragon Ball. The main reason why you're gonna be looking for 3rd star Dragon Ball, you draw 1 card, then you can choose 1 battle card, and it can attack battle cards in active mode for the duration of the turn. And we have another card on the field. We have Final Guardian. Technically, Final Guardian is, if you think about it, it's a set of 8 cards. Technically, it's 8 negates. This negate works better, in my opinion, than some of the other red negates. Like at all you call is that all you got when you discard 1 red card and you get to pop 2 things in the field, or give it a minus 15k. I think this works better because you negate the attack, and then once you discard it and put it in the drop area, let's say that on another different turn your opponent wants to go ahead and swing at you, well, you have another Final Guardian here in your deck to use, so you can use it at the right time. You just need to know when to use it. So this is a really good card for it. I highly recommend you play it. I think this is a really good card. I might put this up to 4. Might put it up to 4, but these Dragon Ball cards, I might put that up to 4 too, but 3 so far is what I have. But anyway, this is the deck here. I think this deck will be pretty interesting to play. Go ahead and test it out. For those of you, go ahead and tweak it if you'd like. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, rate, subscribe. More content coming soon, and peace.